My name is Paul Tighe. I'm a bishop in the Catholic Church. I work at the Vatican and I'm the adjunct secretary to the Vatican's Council for Culture. The technological revolution is easy enough to think about. Our devices have become more powerful, more connected, cheaper, but it's really what's interesting is what people are doing with that, and it's changing how we are as human beings. I think what digital has done is it has made more visible and made more rapid the implications of what we might want to call postmodernism. And postmodernism is this idea that somehow there's no one story that makes sense of the world. There's no real truth. And I would want to contest that, because I think there are ways of behavior that are helpful for human beings and there are ways of behavior that are going to be destructive for individuals and for society. I think the key thing for the Vatican was to realize that, look, it's not actually simply about getting our word out, but really social media at its best is conversational. The church would have to be present in the world of social media, because if I want to engage, as I say, back to my 15 nephews and nieces, if I want to come across their world, enter into their consciousness, I have to have an appropriate presence in social media. One of the things about communications is, it's very important what we say, but it's the way it sustains a relationship. The other thing that was important there was it meant many people working in the church around the world were inclined to be dismissive of the digital and say, that's all for children. How can you say anything meaningful in 140 characters? And this is really not serious, it's not real. Suddenly have to take it seriously because the Pope is there. There's Pope Francis, not because it's a strategy, but it's who he is, tends to be a master of brief, short, colourful comments that engage people. He's a master of metaphor. The other thing then that came across was that he's very visual in his communications. He's very often at events which are multilingual. But what everybody can identify is with the smile, with the way he engages those who are sick, with the authenticity that comes across. So therefore that was meant for something like Instagram then was a very natural medium for him to use, or to be used, because it's visual and it shows who he is. I think everybody has to find a way of engaging with social media that is appropriate to who they are, that works with their way and their time availability. I think the philosophical tradition would always said the unreflective life is not worth living. We all need to create those little moments of time when we step back, and that's easy for me, I live on my own. It's not so easy for a family, for somebody who has children, and yet sometimes maybe you do need to do that just to appreciate why you're doing it, why the routine is so important. And one of the great things is nowadays there are apps that help people to develop that. You don't have to go offline to have something that helps you to be a little bit more settled. The more philosophical, there's a lot of people who are not necessarily religious are discovering the importance of mindfulness, just being attentive, being focused on what's happening.